Hello everyone, it's Brickmaster here, and today I have a very special LEGO set to review. This is the MT-61 Crystal Reaper from 2008. This set comes with 600 pieces, was rated for ages 8 to 14, and cost you $50 back when it was in stores. This is a fantastic set. It's a really unique looking vehicle, it has some really nice features and minifigures, so I can't wait to show this one to you. So let's look at the instructions to be the first part of the review. Alright, so here are the instruction booklets. There are two. They're both around the same size, and they're pretty thick, so they come with quite a few pages. The first one comes with a total of 76, and the second one comes with also 76, funny enough. So the back one here advertises the whole thing about winning a LEGO set. I do have these two sets. I have reviewed this one before. This one will come eventually. They don't have the Screaming Boy yet, but the instructions... back here it also shows you features of the set as well. And you can also add power functions. I do want to mention that. But it does come with the box that tells you what pieces you need for each step, so it's pretty simple. Nothing too hard about these at all. Back here it advertises the 2008 wave of Mars mission. Very good wave, if I say so myself. I do have this little one here. I have reviewed it, and this big hypersonic operations aircraft. I think that's what it's called. I do have that set as well, and that's to be reviewed in the future. So yeah, that's it for the instructions. Let's look at the minifigures. Alright, so here are the minifigures. There are a total of 6 that come in this set, which is really good for a set of this size. 600 pieces, $50. So let's look at the human minifigures first. So here's the first astronaut. This is what he looks like. Looks pretty much like every other Mars mission astronaut does, with a suit on. So you can see he has the classic space symbol there, zipper, printed oxygen tanks, and that's his face. This is the one who's supposed to, I think, be driving the vehicle, so that's what he looks like. Pretty nice, pretty simple, but nonetheless a good looking minifigure. Alright, so here's the second minifigure. Same suit, but a different face. You can see he looks a little bit slightly angry or determined. You can see that he has a 5 o'clock shadow, so he hasn't shaved in a while. But yeah, that's the only difference between this minifigure and the last one. Again, the Mars mission astronauts tend to look very similar due to their suits. And here's the third minifigure, and this is what he looks like. And he has a jackhammer as well. He's obviously mining for something. And he does have an alternate face, and he's screaming probably when he is attacked by an alien or something like that, because he's the minifigure who's not driving a vehicle. So he's a little bit in danger at some point. So that's what he looks like. Here is the alien commander. I'm going to move my camera up because he is considerably larger than the human minifigures. And this is what he looks like. Very good looking minifigure. Unlike the other two aliens, which are the more generic kind, these Mars mission aliens do look really good. He has, whoops, my stand is breaking a little bit, but you can articulate his arms. The arms and the legs are the same mold, by the way, which is interesting, but it does work. It can be articulated quite well. And he does have a cylinder to be his eyes, funny enough, and he has a clip so he can attach to the back of his vehicle. So very nice, and you can see there's some different degrees of transparency in his torso area. Really, really nice looking minifigure. I'd have to say LEGO did a good job with this. And here is the generic alien, which is definitely the weakest minifigure of the bunch. All he can do is this. Really not much to it. Plus, he does have a little bit of glow-in-the-darkness or something inside of his torso, but you can't really do much with it. It doesn't really work. If anything, you might see a tiny little speck, but it's really not that much. And you can clip something here, and you can put a little clip in his torso area to attach him to a vehicle, but again, probably the weakest minifigure. But yeah, the other one's just a duplicate. So yeah, let's get on to the alien ship. Alright, so here is the alien ship. It's quite interesting looking. I have to say that whenever there's a Mars mission set with where the human vehicle is the largest, the alien ships are usually pretty good builds themselves. A lot of stickers here, but I do like how the light reflects on them and makes them look like they're different colors. It looks like it's some sort of circuitry or something. I really do like it. You are armed with 2 rockets right here, which can not really be fired, but they look really good. And this is where you, of course, put the minifigure in, so you clip him back here. He'll have to lie down a little bit, but yeah, he can clip him in there, put his legs down, and there he is. His claws can touch the controls, so that's always really good. I always like when somewhat realistic. Here's a big cannon, and it's powered by a crystal. There's a crystal in there, and it can be angled, so you can fire it. Oops, that broke. Surprised, it usually doesn't do that, but yeah, it can be fired at the human vehicles and people. And there's spears, which are supposed to be lasers, and more spears back here to make it look very aggressive, very aggressive looking. And overall, I have to say it's a pretty nice vehicle, and you can also adjust the wings like this to make it look like that or like that. Pretty interesting, so I always like that. They put effort into the smaller builds. So let's take a look at the Rover. When you heard me say Rover, I'm sure you were expecting me to talk about the large vehicle, but no, there is a smaller vehicle as well for the humans. And this is what it looks like. It's a small dump truck style thing. I do like it. It has a really nice shape. It has a really nice cockpit. It looks pretty finished as well. You can see it uses these plastic wheels that I really do like. I remember them from Explorings and Sectoids, things like that. So it's a pretty old piece, but I'm happy that they're reusing it. And it does have quite a few stickers as well. No prints really. And there's the printed control panel. You can see there's a walkie-talkie on one side, a circular saw on the other to, of course, cut through rock. And this is where, of course, you can put the minifigure, so you can sit this minifigure in here. And he has two levers, which obviously control the vehicle. And it opens pretty easily, pretty smoothly. And here at the back, you can dump whatever sorts of rocks and minerals and crystals that you have. So overall, a pretty nice looking little vehicle, and rolls really well. Yeah, nothing to complain about here. Definitely a solid vehicle. Alright, so here's the Crystal Reaper itself. It's a really nice looking vehicle. I tell you, it has such good detail. When I saw this set, I said I really would like to get this one. That was one of my first thoughts with it. So anyway, let's look at where the cockpit is first. So I'll move this set over here. Again, a sticker. This set does, and Mars Mission in general, have a lot of stickers. They're not known for their prints. And you open it up like this, and you can set the driver in there. And he has two levers. Again, I'm always happy that they're given controls. And he does have a little crosshair. I'm assuming that's when he's using the weapon system, which is here to the right. His right, our left. And you can see there are two large cannons here which can be fired at enemy vehicles. It uses a ball joint, so there's a large range of motion. Here's a radar, so it can scan the area at some sort of radar telescope thing. And up here there's a sticker as well. And it uses this, not very good personally, this is probably my only complaint with this set, a pretty bad missile system that doesn't even really work. It barely fires, and every time I push it back, I'm bending plastic, so I don't want to break it, so I would never use it. But that's it, and it's powered by a crystal right here. It looks really good, though. There's also two claws over here, which can grab something as well, and that's always nice. Here there's two little propellers. I'm sure that's more for vents in this case, or they're probably not going to be doing much of anything in this case. And what I mean is that this thing is also a ship, the top section, which I'll show you afterwards. And here it says MT-61 Reaper and the set number, so I always like when they integrate the set number into a vehicle like this. And back here you can see there are wings, and there are some pegs back here. And over here, there's a little lab section, so you can see you can do some readings on a crystal. Looks really good in my opinion. And yeah, that's basically it for that. And you can also pick up this vehicle from the rest of the ship. It's a little spaceship, probably more skimmer or something like that. Something that goes more on the surface of the planet rather than doing some sort of intergalactic sort of flying or something like that. And that's what it looks like. It looks pretty good independently. And this is where it can, of course, pick up crystals and other sorts of things, even aliens, if you wish to take them off the surface and get rid of them. And this is where, of course, the propellers probably would be of more use, and it connects using a peg. Even the underside looks pretty good. Yeah, overall pretty solid looking vehicle there. So now we'll look at the larger section of it. And I'll show you the back. There's a claw over here so you can pick up a crystal or something like that. There's a little box right here where you could put some crystals. This is probably where they are put to power the vehicle. Really nice looking. Here there's some little spray canisters, or they're probably a way to house fuel or something like that if you break the crystals down to some sort of liquid. Here there's a tube that's going across, looks really good. Over here there's some sort of generator bit, again looks fantastic. Here's some part of the engine. Here there's some sort of reading, and here you can see there's a little joint piece, and that's where you're supposed to take an alien. And you can stick the alien right there. And you can, of course, examine it, or you can interrogate it just to see why it's attacking your vehicles and your people. And here again are the caterpillar treads, really good looking. And now I'm going to start putting the set together, and you'll see what I mean. So back here there's a ramp, and that moves down. So you can take the small rover and move it up here. And you can, of course, close the ramp to keep it in place. Then you can take the ship and put it on here and push it on, turn it around, and there you got the full Crystal Reaper. Really nice looking vehicle. And of course, why is it called the Crystal Reaper? It's because it's supposed to be something that mines, breaks down rock, and when you move it forward, it'll move these things which are supposed to break down rock. And you can see there's some razor wheels, and these things dig up things. So it's very, very good looking mechanism. It does work better on carpet, but it does work even well here. So yeah, that's basically it for this set. Alright, so for my overall thoughts on this set, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic build, great looking model. I got this set in a bulk with one other Mars mission set, a pretty big one, and it's a fantastic one as well. I'm gonna do a little teaser thing similar to what I did with this one a few weeks ago. I was planning to record and make that video earlier, but unfortunately things got in the way of that, but I finally got to it. And yeah, I'm going to do the same thing, make a teaser of it. A great Mars mission set as well. Highly recommend that one. So I'm not going to tell you too much in advance. But today I would pay approximately $70 for this one. It is pretty big, maybe $75 for it. You're not going to get much better with Lego nowadays. Today they'll sell you something like the size of a Naboo starfighter that cost $30 back in 2007 or something, and sell it to you for $60. So yeah, this is an actual good hefty set, a lot of functions, minifigures, really good looking model, so I could not recommend this set enough. So I'll see you all later for more Lego reviews. Goodbye.